Okay, I'm back. So yeah, what it is that I'm trying to make plans with the lady that I know. So we'll be meeting up sometime tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week. The chain smokers. I like most of their stuff. Not like I think their new CDs. I am not a huge fan of, or at least some of their new like one or two of their newer songs. But a lot of their songs I do like. So yeah. Um, and they popped up another video. Okay, I'm just going to stay in this position so that way my back can. Okay, you know what? All right. So yeah, I think that was really about it, honestly. I think that was it. So yeah. Um, Yay, stretching and hear all the crackling and such. So yay. Anyways, I will talk to you later. I hope that you have a great day. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I will, um, yeah, I'll talk to you as soon as I can. Um, yeah, so, oh, yeah, in regards to vehicles, I might be able to call some places on Friday, but otherwise, like, the places' mechanics, like, it's pointless to try and call them this week. And it's like, okay, I can probably start next week and bundle up in a warm blanket, come down here, call these places, because there's this, what was it? There's this one place. Yeah, no, sorry. There's this blanket I have that was down here, and I smell it, and I'm like, this stinks. And it's been in my car for a while, so I'm wondering if it's because of that. Like, I just haven't washed it ever, or in a while, in a long time. So, yeah. I did think it was funny where it's like, it's good to hear that the world has gotten better. It's not as like crazy or like wild. And it's like lies. And then the laughter. I was like, I know why you guys are laughing. I totally would laugh too. Like, it's so true. Like, the world has not calmed down at all. No, no. Like, we've stormed a governor's mansion up in Michigan, attempted kidnapping in Michigan. We stormed, like, some of the White House in Washington, D.C. Um, Washington State went ahead, parts of it shut down because they were like, no police officers. So then, because it was no police officers, the ambulance wouldn't even go into an area because it was not safe in order to save a guy. And so the guy, or like, help a guy. So the guy went ahead and sued the city because it's like, you should have provided police officers. So then they were sued. Um, or what's another thing? Gas prices going sky high, and they're finally lowering, so I'm happy about that. So yeah. Um, Anyways, I am glad about that. Uh, but yeah, I'll talk to you later. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Let me know. The world has definitely got crazy. Yeah. I hope that you have a great day. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I will, yeah, I'll be able. Oh, yeah. So, in regards to your cousin, I can definitely start liking it more as long as there's like multiple people that are liking the post. Like, I think my likes will sort of get drowned out by everything and by everyone. By, let's say, there's like 12, 13, 14, or like 20 people liking a post. I don't think your cousin will notice as easily. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I hope that you have a great day. Happy New Year's. Take photos, maybe. I don't know. That's up to you. That's totally up to you. I hope you don't get drunk too much. That. I've never been blackout drunk. I hope to never be blackout drunk. Oh, I read this story, and it was sort of sad, I guess. Um, it was, so what it is about this lady who I enjoy. I watch her. She does unhinged stuff. I can't share her on my Facebook page because I think she does cuss a little bit. There's that, and then she also talks about sex and she dark humor. So she has dark humor. So whenever she was a kid, like 14 years old, she I'm telling you this story in chronological order. She went ahead and told it in order of like stuff happened, went back in time to understand her mentality, and then went forward in time. So I'll tell it in chronological order. So whenever she was 14, she went to the doctor's office, and she was actually either anorexic. I think she was anorexic. And so she went to the doctor's office or the ER because she fainted. She got there and they tested her, and they're like, "Ma'am, have you like eaten anything?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have." So she lied about that. And then the lady went ahead and like drew her blood or did something else. The nurse did drew her blood or did something else. And she's like, "Ma'am, I think you need to like here, please drink some orange juice." And she's like, "No, I don't need to." And I was like, "Ma'am, your blood pressure is this low. Like, you're going to faint again or like get even worse." She's like, "Okay." And so, because she was counting calories. And so she went ahead and like ended up drinking the orange juice. And during that time, like the nurse, in order to like make sure Tova did not faint, and she is a influencer. She's on maybe YouTube. I know she's on Facebook. But in order to keep her from fainting, she went ahead and like placed her hand on her back and was like, "Just so you don't faint and fall over again." Excuse So she went ahead and like she appreciated that in spite of like her suffering, uh, like becoming anorexic, that she had a care and comfort. So somebody was willing to place their hand on her back and basically just kind of support her and like give her like an orange juice in order just to be kind to her. And so she went ahead and she appreciated that. Like she got attention by like bad stuff happening to her. And so years later, she was in like a toxic relationship with a guy. And it was basically where he said he wasn't a fan of touching or like physical affection, basically like maybe hugs or hand holding and things like that. And she was like, "Okay, I get it." And so what she ended up doing was that so again, it's toxic relationship. um so what a friend of mine texted me, and I was like, "Oh, I was not expecting a text." um so anyways, um what ends up happening is that I went blank. Now my mind is back on the conversation, and I'm about to sneeze. Okay. Cold weather. My roommate's blanket. Okay, so anyways, what ends up happening is that she's in this toxic relationship with this guy, and what ends up happening is that she, like, every time they have sex, he's like, "I'm not very affectionate. I don't like affection," or like touching, PDA, basically. So what he ends up doing is like he's rough with her during sex, so it's not necessarily enjoyable for her. But he's sort of rough and he does it however he wants to. And then after that, after they have sex, he goes ahead and like hugs her and holds her and is like affectionate with her, basically shows PDA. And so like it's like, okay, I have to sort of earn people being nice. And so she's like, yeah, basically what ends up happening is that people will go ahead. She enjoys people being in this case, the toxic relationship, they had been doing this for like 6 months or so. She enjoys people being rough with her because then it sort of like she earned people being nice to her and showing her affection. And it's like, wow, like that's sad, basically, where she's conditioned where, like, in order to earn people being nice to her and showing her affection and PDA and like just being nice to her in general, like people have to be mean to her and rough with her, like even during sex. And it's like, that shouldn't, like, and it wasn't like sex wasn't necessarily something she enjoyed, at least with the roughness. And so what ends up happening is that she ends up going to a bar. And while she's at the bar, like, she does not drink alcohol. While she's at the bar, though, what she ends up doing is that what does she end up doing? She gets a Diet Coke, and then she goes up to the bar, and she's with her boyfriend, friends with benefits. I don't think they really had a title. But anyways, she's with her boyfriend. Significant other, we'll call significant other. She was falling for him, and she was like, yeah, he's falling for me too. I'll explain more about that. What it is that what does she end up doing? She goes ahead and she goes up to the bar, and she basically back, crack the back, yes. So what is that basically she goes up to the bar, and orders a Diet Coke. And so she brings it back, she goes ahead and sips it and drinks it, and she starts feeling woozy and such. And she goes over to the man that she's with, and she just blacks out completely. She wakes up, she is naked, and she's like in her significant other's bed. She's naked, and she like has bruises on some of her body. She goes over to the bathroom and she throws up. And the guy that she's with goes ahead and like starts rubbing her back and being all affectionate, basically like a sweet PDA, being all affectionate, and rubs her back. And she starts crying, and she's like, I don't remember last night, like at all. I don't remember last night. And then she throws up again, and then she goes and lies in the bed, and they end up having sex. And it's not like rough like it usually is, but he ends up being very gentle with her and like watching for the bruises that she had, like just, watching for the bruises and such that she has. And she was like really appreciated how tender and gentle he was during that time. Well, she ends up going to after that, she ends up going to a therapist. And the last time she went to a therapist was whenever she was suffering with anorexia. And she ends up working with the therapist. And after a couple weeks, she finally tells him like how she felt. And basically it was like she felt as though she had to earn people being nice to her, or people showing her physical affection. And it's like, oh. And so yeah, she felt as though people had to earn showing her physical, like sweet physical affection, instead of being like, oh, you're gonna like have rough sex with me, okay, go ahead and like do this. And it's like, no, like, oh, itchy back, yes. Oh, cold, yeah, that usually stops the itching. Oh, cold hands. But anyways, yeah, so, and my neck hurts, so hence why I'm going to be like this for a little while. So, yeah, so she goes to the therapist, and she explains to him, like, basically how it made her feel. And the odd thing is that she actually enjoyed it. Like, the title of the article is she enjoyed, like, she was blackout drunk and she enjoyed it. And it was because of, like, people being nice to her afterwards. It's like, you're rough to me, or I'm rough to myself where I faint, and then afterwards people are actually nice to me and gentle with me. So she kind of like earned the right for people to be nice to her, or like show her gentle physical affection, basically. And so that ended up happening. And then, yeah, so that ended up happening. And then what ended up happening after that? I'm cracking. Okay, cracked my back. So that ended up happening where basically it was like sweet physical affection and such. And like, she finally talked to him and she's like, hey, you know what? She told him, I don't like the rough sex. I understand you don't want to like have hugs and like cuddles and things like that. I understand you don't like it, but I like it. And she was like, I want this, and it's either like treat me better, basically, physical affection, or like we're not doing this anymore. And basically she went ahead and left, and crying because he's like, no, I don't know, and told her to leave. And so she left. And I think it's kind of sad where some people are like in that mental state where they're like, okay, I went ahead and like, it's a mental state where, you know, bad stuff, people are just being horribly cruel to you, or her, being horribly cruel to her. And then afterwards, it's in this toxic mindset where they're horribly cruel and such. And then you end up, or she ends up, it's like, okay, I have to earn people being nice. And it's like, no, people can just be nice because they can be nice. And people can be like, give hugs and give affection and things like that without being like, I'm going to hurt you. And it's like, no, you don't need to do that. So yeah, I found that really sad overall. But yeah, so that ended up happening. And then she has not talked to the guy since then. From what I can tell, she has done some healing, because now it's like, I think she's not 100% there, honestly. But I think she's doing a lot better where it's like, you know what, I can have like healthy relationships without it being physically, I'm going to hurt you, and then after I hurt you, then you can go ahead and earn the nice, like the hugs and the PDA and such. So yeah, anyways, I think that's really about it. So yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going to the church this Sunday. So instead of next Sunday, I'm actually going this Sunday. And it's because the lady who usually takes photos, she's sick. And so I'm like, okay, yeah. She asked me if I could take photos. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I'm going to be going in and taking photos. And I need to be early. Yeah. Because she's like, yeah, my sister. She's like, oh yeah, my sister will give you this stuff. And I was like, what does she look like? What's her name? So yeah, and so yeah, I'll have to get there early. And then she's like, text me if you have any questions. I was like, okay. So yeah, anyways, I think that's it. I'm gonna eat my oatmeal, upload these videos. So yeah, hope you have a great day. I think I'm gonna take dentistry. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of it, and I still need to actually write down. So as I'm taking it down, I need to probably do it based upon, like, first I think I'm going to do it based upon things that don't represent states, and then after that I'm going to do it based upon places that do represent states. And that's simply so that I can sort of keep track of where I still need Christmas tree ornaments, because I don't remember. It looks as though I only have like Christmas tree ornaments from maybe 10 states. maybe a little bit more, maybe 15, but that still leaves like 35 states. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and yeah, I'll be able to respond throughout the day. So yeah, I hope that you have a great night. Stay safe, and call an Uber or Lyft if you need to. Yeah. And if you throw up in the car, there is a $200 charge, at least with Lyft, from 2020. 2020, 2021. So I don't know if it's still 200 or if it's more or less, but yeah. Yeah. Or sleep at the place that you're at. One of those. Yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I will, yeah, I'll respond as soon as I can. So yeah, talk to you later. Bye. Love you.